We say hello from Rochester, New York. It's men's hoops here on Bomber Sports for two teams with extremely hot starts. It's the Ithaca Bombers here on the road taking on the Rochester Yellow Jackets for their 12th all-time meeting here from the Palestra. Alongside Rihanna DeCrow, Cam Manning with you. So glad you could join us on this Tuesday evening. And both teams have come out to a roaring start here in 2024. The Bombers 3-1, a tough schedule here to begin for a very, very young group that is impressed here in the early going.
Yeah, this team wasn't expected to do much, considering they had a ton of injuries. You have a good transfer come in that's going to fill that post position that Tristan Winterston left, but a lot of young players on this team that you don't anticipate to come in here and dominate like they have, but this Bombers team has been getting it done in more ways than one.
The Bomber starters were just introduced. It's Lawrence Brady, Logan Wendell, Jalen O'Neill, and Evan Cabral as the starters with Chris Lasith. Those are your Bombers starting five. Brady and Lasith will be at the forwards, and your guards in Wendell, O'Neill, and Cabral. And Rochester comes out with a usual starting five. We'll go with Ethan McEachran at the guard position, Corvin Oprira, the other guard, the senior forward who's been phenomenal, and Logan Jagazinski, Nate Sock at the guard, and David Ackles at the forward position. Rochester right now, Rihanna, the fifth toughest schedule in the whole entire nation. The UAA, a phenomenal conference, and a team that's played with some of the best of them here to begin.
Yeah, and we spoke about this a little bit in the women's game. When you're consistently seeing high-level competition and you're going against some of the best teams in the country, it's going to produce a good basketball team. This Yellow Jackets team, no doubt, you look at the Liberty League, you take a little comparison of the conferences, they just see a higher level of play. So it's really important for the Bombers to see these high-level opponents in the non-conference schedule and hopefully put up a fight tonight.
Both teams getting set and ready to go here from Rochester, New York. David Ackles and Logan Jagodzinski at the forward position. Nate Sock, Corvin Oprira, and Ethan McEachran are the three guards of Rochester. They come out in their home whites with a Rochester logo that is battered in red and blue lettering with the white shorts and the blue striping. Bombers come out in their road blues, white lettering, white striping, with the blue pants with the Ithaca logo on either side. David Ackles at 7 foot with Chris Lasith at the yellow R logo at midcourt. The 12th all-time meeting, Rochester and Ithaca, and we're underway here on this Tuesday night. Rochester from right to left. Ethan McEachran, the guard, comes left corner. Jagazinski drives, lowers the shoulder, middle of the paint, floats one up, floats one in, and Rochester opens the scoreboard first.
Something to watch out for, the size battle.
So much size down low for Rochester. Whistle blown as Bombers are over the logo. They'll inbound it here. Off-ball foul that goes against Rochester. But David Ackles, the sophomore forward at 7 foot. You also come out with Logan Jagodzinski. He's at 6'6". Something Coach Freed talked about, all the size that Rochester has. Bombers inbounded on the far side of their first possession, led by the senior captain Logan Wendell straight away. Left wing Jalen O'Neill drives to his right. Right corner three. Lawrence Brady up and good. Bombers answer on the other end. Lawrence Brady, just his second three-pointer here in the early season.
Part of the success of this Bombers team is going to be the ability to shoot the three ball and how hot they can get from beyond the arc.
Nate Saka's the basketball. He's shooting 63% from three. Pump fakes, comes the left wing. McEachran, front iron no good. Rebounded down low, all 7 foot of Ackles. He rebounds it in off the right glass. Bombers back left to right over the yellow Rochester R. Chris Lasith, the southpaw, hands off Brady. Brady, a free throw line jumper. Rattles off, no good. Cabral chases for the rebound. Off the leg of McEachran, the senior guard for Rochester. Stays here with the Bombers. A 4-3 Rochester lead. Just a minute in here to the first half. This Rochester defense has been phenomenal. They've won 4 of their first 5, outscoring teams 533 to 470. But the Bombers come in 3-1. They've beaten 2 NCAA tournament teams to begin. Here's the third in Rochester. Left elbow Lasith. Jalen O'Neill, the sophomore guard, hesitates down the lane, back to Lasith. Poked away from Ackles. Bombers' first turnover. Here comes Rochester with some numbers. Ethan McEachran, far side, guarded by O'Neill. Hesitates, drives left. Bennett Kozazinski on the left wing. He handed off back to McEachran. He's another forward at 6'9", the transfer. Sock on the left wing, guarded by Wendell. 10 on the shot clock. Straight away, Ackles, not a big shooter. Comes down low, right block. Nate Sock lays it in. He's had a strong start. Facilitated with an assist, picks up some points. 6-3 Rochester. Jalen O'Neal straight away. Hands off Lawrence Brady, back to O'Neal. Brady hit that three, the Bombers' only points. Brady ball at his hip, comes to Evan Cabral, near side right wing. Spins, reverse layup down low. He's rejected off the rim. Rochester wanted to travel, they won't get it. They go the full length of the floor, but Nate Sock threw it out of bounds at the baseline. Rochester turns the ball over, and the Bombers head to the bench. Aiden Holmes, the senior captain, in. Evan Cabral, the standout sophomore, comes out.
Yeah, that was definitely a travel for Evan Cabral underneath the basket. I think it was 6 steps he had there underneath.
Missed it either way. Smothering defense from the tall towers down low for Rochester. Here's Aiden Holmes on the right wing. Bombers on the attack. Jalen O'Neal, a right jab step with the red shoes. Logan Wendell straight away. Ball at his hip. Now hands off Lawrence Brady in the corner. Back to Holmes. Drives baseline in the corner. O'Neal's cutting. He couldn't hold on a firing pass from Holmes.
Got to clean up the sloppiness from the Bombers if you want to score points.
Here's Nate Sock to McEachran the other way. Rochester from right to left with 7:23 in the first. Left corner three for Sock. It's cash. Sock with 5 to start. A 9-3 Rochester lead. We're almost 3 minutes in. Lawrence Brady, right corner three the other way. Can't answer, it's short. Jalen O'Neal gets the rebound over David Ackles at 7 foot. Jump ball down low, whistle blown, and possession arrow will stay here with the Bombers. So O'Neal out-rebounding the 7-footer and Ackles down low.
Yeah, really impressive what he's been able to do. And Jalen O'Neal, with so much speed, so much spring in his step, we've seen that throughout the season.
17:06 left to go in the first half. A 9-3 Rochester lead. Lawrence Brady at the logo, hands off to Jalen O'Neal. The sophomore has been so erratic for the Bombers, but has played some stable minutes of late. Chris Lasith at the key, back to O'Neal. Drives left side, his non-dominant hand. Guarded by Ackles at 7 foot. O'Neal spins, front rim, can't get it to go. Grabs his own rebound. Bombers reset. Aiden Holmes, left wing three, shoots it through. Holmes connects, Bombers cut it to 3, and Holmes shooting 30% from 3 this season. Wants to up that clip, does it right there.
A huge piece of that Utica win, 3 for 5 from 3. He was huge in that one.
And all those threes in the second half. Here's McEachran straight away. Bombers on a man-to-man defense. Down low, Kozowinski. Posting up on Lasith. Right-handed hook shot over Lasith. 6'9" on the Lasith, 6'5". Rochester wins the battle, an 11-6 lead. Aiden Holmes the other way. Bombers from left to right. Holmes pivots back to Jalen O'Neal. Ball at his neck goes to Logan Wendell. He's guarded by Nate Sock. Holmes on the right wing. Drives. Pass. Lawrence Brady. Left block. Wants the reverse. Can't get it. Smothering defense. Back to Holmes in the left corner. He resets top of the key. 6 in the shot clock. Rochester. Strong man-to-man. Holmes drives left. Spins back to his right. He's told no way. Shot clock violation. Jagodzinski, the senior forward, picks up his 9th block of the season, and it's a big one. Rochester basketball.
And man, really just a 5-inch size difference, but that felt like a whole foot. All he had to do was put an arm up, and there was just no getting past him.
Just towering up. Coach Freed said the size will be a factor, and the Bombers a small lineup right now. You have 3 guards on the floor that are just 6 feet. Down low, Nate Sock, 13-foot jumper, puts one through. Rochester a 13-6 lead, 15:33 left to go in this first half here from Rochester, New York. Lawrence Brady on the left wing, hand off to Holmes with his 3 points. O'Neal, middle of the lane, right-handed floater, back of the rim, no good. Lasith the rebound, second chance points, and Lasith hooks one home.
Lasith unwavering in the paint there, a freshman looking like a veteran out on the floor.
Bombers bring a half-court press, 15 minutes left to go. McEachran comes to the right side. Nate Sock, right wing 3. Backboard rim, no good. Lasith one of the rebound, stripped away, and a score from Rochester.
Problem with that one was just the only Bomber in the paint there on defense was Lasith.
Savas Gonatas, the senior guard, he had the defense on Lasith. Bombers from left to right. Aiden Holmes wanted O'Neal. Rochester pokes it away, their 3rd turnover. Back on the other end is Theo Murray, charging foul. Murray, the sophomore, laid right into Logan Wendell on the left block. Bombers get the charge. Coach Freed pleading for some kind of foul, even though the Bombers picked one up. They head to their bench here. Cole Wissink, the junior, comes in. Jose Padilla, the sophomore, in. 2 players that Coach Freed's talked very highly about for a team that's had to play all 11 men with a lot of injuries.
And this is where the Bombers' speed can pay off. If you can frustrate the size of the Yellow Jackets, draw some fouls, get some shots off.
Padilla, the sophomore, 12.5 minutes per game, comes to Lasith on the left wing. Picks up the dribble, back to Padilla wearing number 13. Had an ankle injury, just his 2nd game here in his sophomore season. Right wing Holmes, back to Padilla. Padilla spins to his left side. He's in the middle of the paint. Right pivot foot, and a traveling violation on Padilla. Too many steps. Looks like he just held onto that right foot, but slid at the last second. Rochester to their bench. Luke Rossi, the freshman, into the game, and that will take out the senior McEachran. 15-8, U of R lead. 14-10 left to go in the first half. Rochester a blazing start, shooting 7 for 9 from the floor. Rossi drives left side, comes in the left wing. It's Fleming. Fleming baseline. Shoe is in the right corner. Back to Rossi now on the left wing. He drives. A finger roll. Too much on it. Foul call down low over the back on Gonitsas, who has 2 points. The senior over the back on Lasith. Bomber basketball.
And again, this is where the size can harm you if you're the Yellow Jackets. You got a couple small, speedy players out there on the floor. You reach over the back too much, it's going to harm you.
Jose Padilla, handoff to Cole Wissink. Their first minutes here tonight. Logan Wendell to Aiden Holmes on the left wing. Holmes does not use his dribble. Finally does. Low to his body. Drives low. Fades from 15. Just in and out. Lace hit the rebound. One more. Shot was blocked. Grabbed his own rebound. Bombers reset. Wendell. Left corner 3. It's short. Wissink the rebound. Wendell. One more time from the left wing. You bet.
You give him all those shots, and eventually he's going to cash in. Logan Wendell, the outstanding player for the Bombers.
His first points here tonight, 15-11, 13-22 left to go in the first half. Nate Sock straight away, comes to Theo Murray, drives left side, Wissink blocked the basketball. Murray, the sophomore, at 6'3", Wissink at 6'1", going up top. Wendell the other way hesitates, Lathis straight away. Bombers have 3 scorers, all with 3 points. Wissink has 0, drives baseline, Padilla, right corner 3, he cannot answer, and rebounded from Nate Sock, Rochester from right to left. Luke Rossi, the freshman, just 2.5 points per game. Comes left corner 3, Camden Fleming. The lefty can't hit. Holmes wants the rebound. Boxed out, dove into the wall behind the basket, but it's off the body of Fleming. Bomber basketball, and also so tough with the room on the baseline. There really is no room. That back wall padding is right there behind the hoop.
Yeah, potentially dangerous situation there. Aiden Holmes pressed fully up against the wall. And this is a very old building, so kind of expected here from the Palestra.
12:40 left to go here from Rochester, New York in the first half. 15-11 Rochester lead, Bombers on the attack. Wendell left wing with 3. He won 6, straight away 3. It's off the backboard and the back of the rim. Bombers reset. Now Cole Wissink, right corner 3. This one's no good. Ithaca to begin. Now 3 for 8 from downtown. Here's another one. Wendell from the left corner. This one's short, but Jose Padilla, another offensive rebound for the Bombers. Aiden Holmes, left elbow drive. Cole Wissink dives down the lane. A handoff pass and a score. Bombers cut it to 2. Rochester needs a timeout with 12:11 left to go. Offensive rebounds here for the Bombers. 9 to Rochester's 2, keeping second chance points alive.
Yeah, it was really impressive what the Bombers were able to do in their own attacking zone. Stayed really cool, really composed, kept grabbing those offensive rebounds, and eventually one of them was going to convert.
For the Bombers so far, just a few different scores, but it's been the 3 balls to start. Logan Wendell with 3, Lawrence Brady from behind the arc, as well with Aiden Holmes on just 1 attempt from 3. But Rochester to begin, they were 7 for 12 from the floor. They're 0 for their last 3. Ithaca just winning in the offensive rebounds against a taller team.
Yeah, and really impressive what they're able to do. Use that speed to get inside and almost function like a running back, right? Just slip through the holes when you can.
12:11 left to go in the first half. 12th all-time meeting between Rochester and Ithaca here from the Palestra on this Tuesday night. Rochester called the timeout. Ithaca cut it to 2. The Yellow Jackets over their logo at midcourt. Luke Rossi, the sophomore, straight away, puts his left fist into the air, guarded by Jose Padilla, the sophomore. Hesitates with the right-handed dribble. Straight away, Camden Fleming, he attempted a 3 already. Theo Murray, left wing, drives right side, kick out, and a foul called. It's a charge. The second one against Rochester. Aiden Holmes drew it, and Rochester now with their 4th turnover of this first half.
Yeah, Bombers have been doing a really good job getting into legal guarding position and planting their feet. Been drawing a couple fouls. Good work.
The Bombers are 5 for 18 from the floor. They're 27% to Rochester's 58, but they're down by 2 with plays because of that. Jose Padilla and Ithaca from left to right. Logan Wendell left wing, Lawrence Brady straight away. They both have 3. Brady's played outstanding. 32 minutes last week against Utica. Jose Padilla, Cole Wissink, right corner. Hands off Logan Wendell. They play trickery. Wendell now drives left side. Spins on his pivot foot. Dives down the lane. Ball poked away. Rochester basketball. Camden Fleming, the lengthy freshman. Luke Rossi, right corner. Handoff. Bytel, right corner 3. Front of the rim, rattles off, but Fleming the rebound, and the Yellow Jackets reset. Rossi, straight away 3. This one's off the front of the rim. Padilla the rebound. Bombers chase it. Now they go on the other end. Holwisink, Aiden Holmes, right corner 3, up and good. Bombers in front for the first time, 16-15, 11 minutes left to go.
And all generated by a really good Bomber rebounding team right now.
Rochester needs an answer. They're 0 for their last 5 from the field. Luke Rossi, left wing. Once the handoff gets to Fleming. Drives left side. Backdoor cut. Wide open is Bytel. Left glass lays it in. A good answer from the Yellow Jackets. Here's Padilla for the Bombers. Has played the majority of this first half in the final 10 minutes now. Padilla wants a left screen from Brady. Does not go there. Brady back to a left screen. Padilla back to the yellow R logo at midcourt. 10:26 left to go. 17-16 Rochester. Wendell, straightaway 3. Backboard rim, just no good. Rochester has now won the rebounding battle out of this timeout. Luke Rossi, the freshman, some trickery moves through the legs. Jose Padilla, the smothering defense. Left corner now, a cross-court pass to Fleming. Fleming in the right corner. The lefty comes top of the key, Rossi. Left corner, Bytel. Now Jagosinski, 18-foot jumper. He can't hit from the left side. Man, that was a deep 2.
This Ithaca defense really impressing for a team that's had to make a lot of improvements in that category so far this year.
The Bomber blue on the offensive side. Aiden Holmes drives right side. Got it poked away. Back pocket pick from Nate Bytel, the junior. He's the basketball on the left wing as Rochester from right to left. Left corner, Jagosinski. Just missed that shot before. Posting up on Padilla. Foul called against Padilla. Jagosinski at 6'6", and Padilla at 6'1". That was a mismatch the whole entire way. Both teams some heavy substitutions. Tommy McKiernan, the freshman out of Wilton, Connecticut, comes into the game. Evan Cabral back in, the sophomore. The Bombers will take out Logan Wendell and Aiden Holmes in the final 9:35 of this first half. A 17-16 Rochester lead. Jagosinski, right corner. McEachran in that same right corner. He's going to reset. Goes down low. Ackles at 7 foot. Up over Brady, no good. Once the rebound, foul called. It goes against Cole Wissink. And Ackles will head to the free throw line here for 2 shots.
Been really impressed with this Bomber defense, though, and what they've been able to do. I truthfully think that if in the offensive zone they weren't generating those sloppy turnovers, this is the Bomber basketball game.
And it just some misses on the offensive end, shooting 30% from the field overall. Rochester now down to 50. They were at 80% to start this game. First free throw from Ackles is no good. 6 for 13 here to begin on his season from the line. A 17-16 Rochester lead here at home on this Tuesday night. Bombers will start conference play on Friday. Second free throw, just no good. Almost hung on the back of the rim, but Rochester out of bounds. It was Kozowinski with his heels on the baseline. Bomber basketball. This Ithaca offense so far led by 6 points from the senior captain, Aiden Holmes, off the bench. They're from left to right. Lawrence Brady at the top of the key. Handoff McKiernan. McKiernan, free throw line fade. He cannot hit. Smothering in his face was McEachran with the defense. McEachran has the ball. Rochester back on the other end. Picks up his dribble, guarded by Jose Padilla. Bombers still stay in a man-to-man defense. They will switch to a 3-2 if needed. Nate Sock straight away. He has 5 points. Drives left side, hesitates still on the left side. Kozowinski in the left corner. Down low, Ackles. Jump ball, Cole Wissink and him both intercepted each other, but it stays here with Rochester.
And the Bombers, they've been necessarily unwavering as far as the size battle goes. Hasn't seemed like it's really bothered them much in this one.
Has not bothered them at all, and it's been a lot of toughness down low, something Coach Fareed preached as they got back from Thanksgiving break on Friday and got right to work to prepare for Rochester. 8:50 left to go, 17-16 Rochester. They inbound. 6 on the shot clock. Nate Sock straight away. They go right wing McEachran. A 3 from the parking lot. He cannot hit. Batted down low. McKiernan with the rebound. Evan Cabral and the Bombers from left to right. McKiernan straight away. Handoff Cole Wissink. Drives right side. The finger roll, and he's rejected off the baseline wall. Logan Jagosinski, his second block of the game, sent Wissink into turmoil. Strong defensive stop there for Rochester. Stays here with the Bombers, 21 on that shot clock. O'Neal gets it into Lawrence Brady on the right block. Middle of the paint down Main Street. Now McKiernan straight away. Fake the handoff to Wissink. Now he goes there at the Bomber logo. 8:20 left to go in this first half. Brady a left jab step. Back to Cole Wissink, top of the key. Drives right side. Wissink pump fakes. Fades from 8 feet out. Rattles off the top of the backboard. Can't haul in.
A couple of high percentage shots for the Bombers, just none falling.
Nate Sock has it with 5 points. Down low, Ackles over Brady. Front of the rim, no good. Grabs his own rebound. He gets one to go. Rochester back in front by 3 points, and the 5th rebound of the game for the 7-footer. Lawrence Brady and the Bombers from left to right with 7:48 left to go in the first half. Evan Cabral, the sophomore, in the left corner. Comes to Jalen O'Neal at the top of the key, the other sophomore. Here's another sophomore in Lawrence Brady. Spins to his right side. On Ackles. Jalen O'Neal. Left corner, 3. Cannot hit. Bank was not open. Ethan McEachran, the senior, that Coach Flakertsky in his 15th season has talked so much about for his leadership. He goes to Kozowinski in the right corner, guarded by Wissink. Kozowinski, ball at his face, had to get it away. He was double-teamed. They go down low, Ackles. Ackles on the right block, over Brady, lays it up, shot no good, but he was fouled from Brady, and he'll head back to the line for 2 free chances.
And something for the Bombers that's been a struggle all season long is taking those unnecessary fouls when you don't need to. This is an inexperienced group, a young group, and knowing when to lay off is really important. They've been still trying to figure that out this year.
And so many different young players on the floor. The Bombers come into this season with so many different injuries. First free throw is in. David Luberoff, the senior transfer, he's been down. Bryce Bleibtree coming into his senior season. He's out for the year. A lot of different players. The Bombers have had to use Kenny Frazier, their assistant coach, and Coach Fareed in practice as scout team players to make sure they have more than 10 guys on the practice floor. Both free throws are in for Ackles. Rochester 21, Bombers 16. 7:05 left to go in this first half. McKiernan straight away, goes to Jalen O'Neal, back to McKiernan. Evan Cabral back to McKiernan in the right corner. The freshman hesitates. He goes baseline. Chris Lasith left wing. O'Neal drives left side, a hop step. Oh man, how did he score that basketball? Hopped down the lane, laid it with his non-dominant hand, somehow did not fall to the ground. He scores. Rochester timeout. 21-18 Yellow Jackets with 6:52 left to go in this first half.
And more than that, an umbrella of Yellow Jackets around him, just with that over-towering defense. He just kind of jumps right through it, almost like Simba in The Lion King, and gets that one to go up.
It almost seemed like you could think of a traveling violation for how high O'Neal got, but it was a jump stop down the lane and somehow was picking himself up on that left block to score. So Bombers cut the lead, 21-18 Rochester. We appreciate you joining us here on Bomber Sports with all the coverage. Alongside Rhianna DeCrow, Cam Manna with you. Rochester and Ithaca. The Bombers, it's their 4th NCAA team opponent that made the tournament last year to begin this year. Ithaca's 3-1. They took down Rowan and Utica. Lost to Babson. Those are 3 of the NCAA tournament teams. Rochester, another team that has made the tournament 4 of the last 5 seasons. Out of the timeout, 21-18 Yellow Jackets lead. They're from right to left on their home court. Ethan McEachran, full court press, guarded by Jalen O'Neal. O'Neal reaches, no foul called. McEachran gets it over. O'Neal steals it away, diving in the air. O'Neal has the basketball. Hands off Logan Wendell, left corner. The high floater, teardrop, can't hit it home. Just in and out. Would have been a spectacular possession. McEachran back on the other end for Rochester. Ackles down low, over Brady, and a foul called. And the 3rd trip to the free throw line for the sophomore 7-footer.
And we've seen this Bombers team opt for that full court press when they really want to change the pace of play or push the pace. And it worked there. Jalen O'Neal with the steal, but then you can't convert on the offensive possession. That's one you have to have here when you're down 3.
The amount of times Ackles has been down low, just using his body, forcing pump fakes. First free throw will not go here. He's now 2 for 5 from the stripe. 6 points, 4 rebounds. Takes 2 dribbles on the second attempt. Up and no good. 0 for 2 on this strip. Stays at 21-18 Rochester. 6:22 left to go in the first half. Chris Lasith at the top of the perimeter. Logan Wendell drives right side. Holds onto his pivot foot. Pivoting around, pump fakes, hands off Jalen O'Neal. He drives left side. Up and no good, but he's fouled from Ackles. O'Neal was an acrobat in the air. He'll have 2 shots coming up.
And this is where you can confuse that Rochester defense, right? Use your speed inside the paint and just find the hole when you can. Jalen O'Neal doing a really good job down low against this Rochester defense.
Jalen O'Neal at the line, 11 for 12 from the free throw stripe this season. He's been a starter for the Bombers. His first free throw is in. Coach Fried has said that O'Neal is so much more comfortable. He said that last year was tough being the best high school player to go into a college role player, but this year has stepped up in a big way. 21-19 Rochester, 6:10 left to go in the first half. O'Neal goes 2 for 2 at the line, so a 1-point game. Full court press here for the Bombers. O'Neal guarding McEachran, the senior. McEachran a few through the legs dribbles. Now he's double teamed. He calls for a timeout. Nobody was helping him out by the UAA logo by the Rochester bench here on the near side. So Rochester takes a TO. 6:02 left to go in this first half. And we'll take a short break and be right back here after the timeout on Bomber Sports. We're out of the timeout here from the Palestra in Rochester, New York. A 21-20 Rochester lead. 5:58 left to go. The Yellow Jackets from left to right. Ethan McEachran straight away, fakes the handoff, down low, sock on the left block. They play pinball. McEachran left corner three. It's in and out. Chris Lasith tips the rebound with his left hand, and the Bombers from left to right.
Bomber defense got lucky there. They just had 4 guys in the paint.
Bombers with Evan Cabral at the straightaway mark. Chris Lasith, a big rebound. It's his 5th year of the night. He's on the right elbow, jab steps, now fakes. Pivots on Lawrence Brady, his teammate, wanted that handoff. Logan Wendell now straight away, he's double teamed. 8 on the shot clock. Wendell and it's stripped away. Here comes Rochester, a 3-on-2. Ethan McEachran, he'll go back to the logo, guarded by Jalen O'Neal. 21-20, Rochester lead. Jagosinski on the left elbow. A strip through, a finger roll and a score past Lawrence Brady down the lane. And Jagosinski picks up his 4th points here tonight. Bombers from left to right. Lawrence Brady on the left corner with 3 points. Chris Lasith, the outstanding freshman, back-to-back Rookie of the Week honors. Had it poked away. Bennett Kaczynski on the other end, all the way to the hoop. Can't lay it in. Lasith the rebound. Lawrence Brady the defense. Bombers playing race car. Back on the other end. Jalen O'Neal with the right hand. It's no good. Can't grab the rebound, but it will stay here with the Bombers. And both sides back-to-back possessions. Easy bunnies, and the layups not rolling through.
Man, this is like hockey. They're just pinballing back and forth. It seems like nobody can make a shot. Who's going to be the one to break the deficit?
Bombers now shooting 26% from the floor, but only down by 3 with 4:42 in this first half. Logan Wendell inbounds on the left side of the backboard. 20 on that shot clock. Slaps the ball with his left hand. Once the overhead pass, gets it in. Aiden Holmes, 18-foot jumper. It's no good. Rochester from right to left with a new 30. Jagosinski, the senior, over the logo. Pump fakes, ball on his hip. Luke Razzi on the right wing. He's the freshman, guarded by Padilla. Left-handed pass back to Jagosinski. Bombers in a man-to-man defense. Left corner, it's Sock for 3. He hits and 1. Sock threw one up. Had to double clutch in the air. They'll count it. He'll get one more, and a 4-point play chance coming up.
We talked about how good Nate Sock was from 3, shooting 63% from beyond the arc. You can't make that mistake on him. That's where your scouting comes into play.
Nate Sock now with 8 points. 2 for 3 from behind the arc. Came into this one, as Rihanna said, 14 for 22, 63% coming in. That's an unbelievable mark for a 3-point shooter. He converts there on the 4-point play, so now a 7-point swing. Rochester in front by 7, 4:15 left to go in this first half. Evan Cabral top of the key, Lawrence Brady on the right elbow. Backdoor cut, Logan Wendell hesitates. Jose Padilla, left corner 3, it's no good. Cabral got the rebound, diving in like Spider-Man. Back to Padilla, second time is the charm. He was that left corner, patch there, building a home, got it to go. 27-23, Bombers cut it. Here's Logan Razzi for Rochester. Bounce pass in the right corner, Camden Fleming. The lefty comes to Gotas straight away. Jagozinski on Evan Cabral. That's a mismatch in favor of Rochester. Sock hesitates. He has it driving left. Now back to his right. Right corner, Rozzi drives baseline. Comes to Fleming. Kick out one more. Jagozinski, left corner three. He got it.
Man, and he just stepped back with so much confidence on that ball. Never a doubt he turned and looked at his bench, firing him up.
Rochester has now hit 3 threes, but coming on back-to-back possessions. Here are the Bombers. Lawrence Brady, left wing three. He connects for his second three here tonight. Bombers back. 4-point game, 3:10 left to go. Rozzi to Camden Fleming, right corner three. This one short. Jose Padilla slows everything down for the Bombers from left to right. 3:03 in this first half, 30-26 Rochester. Wendell double-teamed back to the logo and Lawrence Brady. A dribble handoff, Evan Cabral. Drives left side, swarms down the lane. Logan Wendell, backdoor cut. He pump faked, but cannot make the wide open layup. Luke Rozzi for Rochester from right to left. Under 3 minutes and a foul called against Jose Padilla. So both sides now trading punches from three, but moving 100 miles per hour.
And University of Rochester, it's pretty clear they did their scouting because Logan Wendell, you saw him in the double team there. He's been effectively neutralized so far, and Bombers leading scorer, when you shut him down, sometimes it's hard to get offensive possession.
Only 3 for Wendell, 1 for 7 from the floor. Rochester inbounds. Sock straight away. Now a 15-foot jumper from the left elbow. No good. Aiden Holmes the board. 2:30 left to go. 30-26 Yellow Jackets. 12th all-time meeting. Chris Lasith, Logan Wendell on the handoff. Foul called. Offensive against Lasith. Wanted the handoff to Logan Wendell, but then had an arm check when he handed the ball off, and Coach Fareed can't believe it on the bench.
It's not the first time we've seen Coach Fareed not believe anything, but that's where the inexperience in the freshman comes into play. You have to know better in that instance.
Coach Fareed tells us he coaches with a lot of energy on that bench. Here's Camden Fleming on the right wing for Rochester. Down low, offensive foul. This goes against Nate Sock on Evan Cabral. So right back the other way. Both teams trading punches on the offensive foul, something you don't want to do. With 2:14 left to go, Rochester still in front by 4 here in the first half.
This game feels like deja vu. One team shoots a three, the other team shoots a three. One team has an offensive, the other one has an offensive. Monkey see, monkey do here.
Monkey see, monkey do. That's a great saying. 2:14 remaining from the Palestra here in this first half. It's been a good one between both sides. Jose Padilla from left to right for the Bombers. Drives right side. Chris Lasith, right corner three. It is good. Left rim, right rim, back of the rim. Finally went down. 1-point game, under 2 minutes. Luke Rozzi over the R logo, guarded by Padilla. The freshman has no points on 2 shots. Goes to Jagozinski. Now Ackles at 7 foot, guarded by Lasith at the free throw line. Backdoor cut, Jagozinski. He batters Aiden Holmes into the wall, and an offensive foul from Jagozinski. Holmes was kind of gliding backwards, and that jump ball foul favored the Bombers either way. It's their basketball.
And this Bomber defense has done a really good job, despite the size differential, being incredibly physical, getting in there, trying to get the jump balls, trying to get the steals off, and they've done a good job so far.
You have 6 players on this Rochester team at 6'5" or taller. That's unheard of in Division III. Minute 39 to go. Bombers down by 1 on the attack. Logan Wendell, right corner 3 for the lead. Yes! Wendell hits for downtown. He was 1 for 7, but now 2 for 8 and 6 points. 32-30 Bombers. Here's Rochester. Rozzi down low. The slam here from Kozowinski. He was fouled. Dunk was no good, but he's going to the line for 2.
Seen Kozowinski a couple times go for those style play type of points, and neither have landed, but pays off this time, gets to go to the line.
Was going up for the dunk, and all the Bombers could do was grab his arm. He misses the dunk, but a 32 Ithaca lead in front. First free throw coming up here for the grad senior. This one is good. Largest lead for Rochester has been 7 points. The Bombers have just taken their first lead of this whole entire game. Second free throw. This gets tied here from Kozowinski. This one is in. 32-32, minute 21. As Nate Sock, the grad senior, back in the game for Rochester. He has 9 points. 2 for 3 from downtown. Ithaca now from left to right. Jose Padilla will do the duties at the point guard spot. Him and Evan Cabral over the court for the Bombers. Padilla hands off Cabral straight away. comes to Aiden Holmes. They go ring around the Rosie. Jose Padilla comes to the right side. Pump fakes the three. Aiden Holmes straight away. Left corner three. Evan Cabral, no good. Sock grabs the board by his hip. Now comes slowly over midcourt, under a minute in this first half. Sock to Razi on the left wing, guarded by Padilla. Back to Sock. Drives with his right hand, back to his left on Wendell. Double team, fades, air ball, Padilla the board. Ithaca from left to right, 48 seconds in this first half. Aiden Holmes steps into a right wing three. It's off the back of the rim. Rochester the rebound. They have a 2-on-2 with Luke Razi, the freshman. Drives to his right side, up and no good. Laysith wants the rebound. Camden Fleming gets it for Rochester. Fleming, it's off his leg. He's on the floor. His left arm is out of bounds on the baseline. It's Bomber basketball with 30 seconds left to go. And Coach Freed and Logan Wendell telling everybody to just slow down.
Yeah, a couple shots on the Bombers' offensive end that you just think, man, if you would have just slowed down and taken your time, you might have had a little bit more of a high percentage chance. But instead, trying to work quick in transition, and they just throw up a prayer, doesn't answer all the time.
28 seconds on the game clock, 27 on the shot clock, almost pretty much the same, about a half-second difference between shot and game. So the Bombers can wind this thing down for one shot. 32-32 here in the first half from the Palestra in Rochester, New York. Evan Cabral at the R logo, guarded by Razi. Cabral fakes, now drives right side. He got a screen. Right corner three, Wendell. He pump faked it. Now wanted it. Evan Cabral, right corner three with 3 seconds. It's no good. Razi the rebound, throws it up from half court. This one is short, and we're tied at the end of 20 minutes of basketball here from Rochester. The Yellow Jackets 32, the Bombers 32. Ithaca took their first lead in the final $1:21 of the first half. Neither side has shot particularly well, but the Bombers have shot better from three-point land, and that's been the difference.
Yeah, and truthfully, the pace has been pushed in this one. Both teams running all up and down the floor, and even having to say, hey, let's slow down in this one and get some more high percentage shots. But we saw this out of the Bombers in the Utica game, too. You mentioned them having their first lead of the night really late there in that second half. That happened at the Utica game, too, and they came out on top of that one. So a dangerous place to be if you're the Yellow Jackets, but a really good job down deep on the rebound as well.
The Bombers have not led at halftime all year, and that will continue. They're tied here, but it's the first time they're not down at the half. 32-32 in 14 minutes. We'll be back for half number 2. Rihanna DeCrow and Cam Manna with you. Stick with us here on Bomber Sports. 20 minutes left to go here from Rochester, New York, from the Palestra Gym. It's Rochester and Ithaca, their 12th all-time meeting, and what a first half. 32-32 is your score. The Bombers still have not led at halftime all season long, but they led for the final $1:21 until Rochester hit a shot in the final 15 seconds, and that is where you are. 32-32. Randy DeCrow and Cam Manning with you, and Ray, we'll start with the Bombers here. Three-point shooting, 40% from downtown right now. It seems like that has been their bread and butter to succeed these last few games.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the three ball is huge. Not only is it momentum shifting, but once you get hot, you get confident from everywhere on the floor. But you and I are both familiar with Coach Turper, and hey, the halftime score is the most irrelevant score of the game. It doesn't.
And this Bombers squad, they have been notorious so far this season for being down at halftime. You go back to last week against Utica. The Bombers were down by 9 at the half, but Coach Fareed said nobody flinched in the locker room. They said, we've been here before. He also said that he kind of liked when his team was playing from behind from 12 to 15 points because they played better basketball. The first time the Bombers will head into half number 2 with pretty much a 0-0 score. 20 minutes back on the clock, 32-32 is your actual score here from Rochester. Tuesday Night Hoops, the Yellow Jackets and the Bombers. Here we go. Ethan McEachran from left to right for the Yellow Jackets. Comes to Nate Sock, excuse me. He has 9 points. McEachran has it top of the key. O'Neal almost poked it away. Sock over the head pass. Down low, it's Ackles. Lowers the shoulder. And a cross-court pass intercepted from Jalen O'Neal. The Bombers back on the other end. O'Neal to Lawrence Brady in the right corner. He drives baseline, picks up the dribble under the hoop. Once Chris Lasith and O'Neal. O'Neal saves it on the blue baseline on the far side. They reset at the R logo to Cabral. Lasith on the right elbow. Left-handed dribble. Handoff Cabral. Pump fakes the three. Drives down the left side. Reverse layup. It's blocked from Ackles. There was no chance there from Cabral.
Yeah, that's just not something you need to try early on here in the half. Not a statement you need to make just yet.
We're a minute in. Still no score here in the second half. 32-32. Ethan McEachran behind the back dribble. Drives left side past Cabral. Sock in the right corner. Here's Jagodzinski right wing. 3, nothing but net. 35-32 Yellow Jackets. Now shooting 30% from 3. Jalen O'Neal speeds the other way for the Bombers. He's under the hoop. Left corner, Lawrence Brady. Middle of the paint down Broadway. Right-handed hook shot. Back iron, no good. Rochester shot 3 for 11 from deep in the first half. Now 1 for 1 in half number 2. Here's Kozowinski driving left side on Lawrence Brady on the left block. Kozowinski spins and scores. 6'9" over Brady. Brady at 6'4". Another mismatch. All the size for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, and the Bombers did a really good job in the first half using their speed to their advantage. Need to pick up the pace here.
37-32, 18-22 left to go. Cabral, middle of the paint. Chris Lasith on the right wing. Handoff Logan Wendell. He stepped out of bounds. Had it poked away from Nate Sock on the strong defense. And Wendell could not hold on. His momentum was going to the right. That was the baseline.
Had a few words to say to it about the ref as well.
Not happy with that call. The Bombers have to respond defensively. Nate Sock with 9 and Jagodzinski with 10, the two top scorers for Rochester. McEachran over midcourt on the near side by the Rochester bench. And the 15th season head coach Luke Flakurtsky calls out plays. Nate Sock in the left wing over the head pass, top of the key. Ackles guarded by O'Neal, almost a foot difference. Here's Kowinski. Drives right side over Lasith, up and good with the contact. No foul, 39-32 Rochester. Bombers over the timeline. Evan Cabral to his right side, up and count it. 3-point play chance coming up for Cabral. That silences all the momentum Rochester just took.
And that's what you need to do. Continue to play physical, get in down deep, and try and find a hole when you can.
What a play that was on the other end from Kaczynski on the Rochester side. Laid one up over Lawrence Brady, and then Rochester had all this momentum and the energy, but Evan Cabral, he'll convert on the 3-point play at the line. 39-35 Rochester, 17:45 left to go in this second half. McEachran over the logo, straight to his left side, now in the left corner, O'Neal all over him. Now back down the lane, McEachran an acrobatic shot, can't go, looks like goaltending, it will be goaltending. The shot was about to roll off, and David Ackles at 7 feet tried to bat the ball in, but it was rattling around, so they're going to call a goaltending, shot no good, and a timeout called here for the Bombers. Tough play there. Once again, you don't often see goaltending at this level, but you have a guy that's at 7 foot. He can almost just tower over the rim.
Yeah, 7 feet is a scary mark. When you see that on the roster, you're like, oh man, 7 feet, that's a different level. And he can use it to his advantage, but especially at this Division III level, sometimes you think, oh, maybe I can get away with that because that's not something these referees see very often. But nonetheless, you can't get away with it.
So this is cool right here. In the Liberty League, there's no review, but in the UAA, they're reviewing this play right now on the camera system here with a laptop at the scores table right now. Two of the referees looking to see if this was truly goaltending, and the ball was going down as Ackles with an offensive goaltending. That's what it would be called. So cool. Division III basketball, but you're getting replay review.
Yeah, as advancements in technology and things get easier and cheaper, you're able to do that. And the UAA, a competitive conference, if there's any conference that you're going to do that in, it's going to be this one.
So the review confirms the call, goaltending. Bomber basketball, 39-35 Rochester lead. 17 and a half left to go in this second half. Wendell over the logo at the yellow R. He's now on the left wing, top of the key, Lawrence Brady. Brady handoff O'Neal. Stutter steps through the legs, back to Wendell in the left corner. Handoff Cabral in the left corner. Backdoor cut, baseline Wendell on the right block now. Straight away, Jalen O'Neal fires a three, connects. 1 point game, Bombers down by one, and O'Neal picks up his first three of the night.
And really good facilitation from Wendell and Cabral to give him that opportunity.
Here's McEachran to his left side, had the basketball poked away from O'Neal. It will stay here with Rochester. The Bombers shot 40% from deep in that first half. Their first three here of the second half, it goes from O'Neal. 17 minutes left to go, 39-38 Rochester. Kaczynski drives right side on the inbound. 8-foot floater, it's no good. Grabs his own rebound. Pump fakes on Lasith. Ball stripped away from Cabral. It will stay here with Rochester off the body of Cabral. Strong defense, but the towers inside. Kaczynski and Ackles, both at pretty much 7 foot against Lasith, your tallest player for the Bombers at 6'5". McEachran gets it in all the way top of the key, Logan Jagodzinski. He has 10 points, goes to McEachran. McEachran down the lane. Pass poked away from Brady, intended for Kaczynski down low. Stays with Rochester, 3 on the shot clock. They have a lot of size to throw an alley-oop up here if they want to. McEachran on the left side on the side out. Here's an alley-oop, and it's a slam. Logan Jagodzinski at 6'6", hammers one home. Rochester in front, 41-38. Bombers from right to left. Evan Cabral and Logan Wendell play keep away at the logo. Wendell spins to his left side. Down the lane, fades from 9 feet out. It's short. Lasith the rebound. Bombers can reset. Lawrence Brady straight away. Whistle blown. Coach Free was screaming something out down low. Not sure what the exact call was here against the Bombers. They're going to call it a defensive foul against Rochester. Bombers will have it here on the inbound with 18 on the shot clock. After the alley-oop slam from Rochester, enforces their lead, 41-38. Evan Cabral on the far side right wing, straight away Wendell, now left corner Lawrence Brady. Pivots back to Wendell at the top of the key. One-handed pass to O'Neal on the far side. O'Neal drives to his right side, fades up, double clutches, shot no good. He was fouled, and 2 shots coming up for Jalen O'Neal. So a crazy possession there for both sides, but Rochester, a long possession. Ithaca defense holding strong, alley-oop score. And now Jalen O'Neal quieting things down at the stripe.
And you've seen it a couple times out of Jagodzinski, the senior, kind of making those big, monumental and momentum-shifting plays. And it's the way not only that he makes those plays, but he turns to his team and says, "What's up? How we doing over there? And let's get going."
He was the MVP of the Truck Wrestler Tournament. That was the first 3 games of the season for Rochester in their invitational. A 5-2 team coming in here tonight. Ithaca at 3-1. O'Neal will make both at the line. 41-40. Bombers down by 1. 16 minutes left to go in tonight's contest. Bombers a full court press. Rochester breaks it. Ethan McEachran holds up his left fist at the logo. Jagodzinski guarded by Brady straight away. He'll drive to his left side. McEachran, left wing 3. Cabral in his face. It will not matter. 44-40. And McEachran from downtown, he picks up his first 3 and his first points. Bombers the other way. And Lawrence Brady in the left corner, his foot was out of bounds. The Bombers, their 13th turnover here tonight.
And the lines here at the Palestra on the gymnasium floor are a little tight. Obviously, the wall's really close in on those baselines and those sidelines, so hard to judge.
Here's Rochester from left to right. Sock down the lane. They reset straight away, and Jagodzinski to McEachran. McEachran had that three. He was 0 for 4 prior. McEachran behind the back dribbles at the logo, smothered by Jalen O'Neal. Jagodzinski on the left wing has not used his dribble, now goes with the right hand back to his left. McEachran, same spot, left wing three. It's short, Logan Wendell the board. Sigh of relief there for the Bombers. Wendell brings it over the timeline slowly. 15-10 left to go, Ithaca down by 4. Wendell hesitates, Lauren Brady, straight away three, in and out. Bombers cannot get the lucky bounce. McEachran back over O'Neal. Drives to his left side, a push off from McEachran, saw it the whole way. McEachran offensive foul. Bomber basketball. Both sides head to their benches here. Cole Wissink, Aiden Holmes in for the Bombers. And for Rochester, Theo Murray, the sophomore, and Bennett Kaczynski. He'll come into the game for Rochester as well.
And shooting troubles just continuing for the Bombers. 31% from the field in this game, but man, it feels like they just have gotten a little bit cold, and a couple of those shots that maybe might have evened up this basketball game or even given them the lead just haven't fallen.
Ithaca 31% from the floor, 1 for 2 from deep in his second half. They've not shot at a high volume so far. Jalen O'Neal over midcourt. He's on the right wing, picks up the dribble once Aiden Holmes goes to Cole Wissink, who just checked in. Wissink, the steady player according to Coach Fareed, spins to his left, fades from 9 feet out, can't rattle it in. Bombers 0 for their last 3 from the floor. McEachran and Rochester. Nate Sock in the right corner. He has 9 points. Sock posts up on Wendell. Kaczynski pump fakes the straightaway 3. Handoff to Sock. Drives left side on Wendell. Had the ball poked away. Ball on the floor. Logan Wendell stole it. It's his first steal here tonight. And a whistle blown. And Logan Wendell coming over midcourt. Looks like a clock issue there. Shot clock had to reset. There was 10 on it for Wendell over midcourt. So the Bombers will get it over midcourt with 28 on that shot clock. As well as Rochester back to their bench. It'll be Gonatas into the game, the senior guard. Second time he'll check into this basketball game. The tall guard at that. So after that shot clock fix, Bombers from right to left, 14-13 left to go. Aiden Holmes, right corner 3 the other way on the pass from O'Neal. It's in and out. Bombers 1 for 3 from deep in the second half, 44-40 Rochester, 14 minutes left to go. McEachran, speedy down to the right side, floats one up, floats one in, 46-40 Yellow Jackets.
And a good idea there from Jalen O'Neal to try for the press defense, but he just got away from them.
Cole Wissink down the lane, right corner Holmes, straight away Jalen O'Neal. The Bombers have not scored in the last 2 minutes. O'Neal to Holmes, pump fakes the deep right wing 3. Top of the perimeter and Cole Wissink. Wissink just missed the shot on the last possession. Drives baseline. He's in the left corner posting up. 6 on the shot clock. Wissink left elbow. Logan Wendell from half court. In and out. Just the toilet bowl. Logan Wendell can't sink it. And a foul called. It's offensive against McEachran over midcourt. He shoved Jalen O'Neal with his right arm. Offensive foul, the 4th against Rochester. The Bombers have none here in this second half.
And hey, sometimes that full court press defense can become like that annoying fly that just won't go away and is bothering you in your food. And sometimes you just get a little aggressive with it. You shove him to the floor. It happens. Happens sometimes.
And the Bombers felt it too. Their whole entire bench come up, brought up Jalen O'Neal off the hardwood. 46-40 Rochester, 13:22 left to go. Ithaca has not hit a shot in their last 5 attempts. Jose Padilla on the left wing. Back to Cole Wissink straight away, calls out a play. Wissink tries to drive right. There's a brick wall there, and the defender in Theo Murray. Left elbow Laseth spins back to his right and scores over Gonatas at 6-8. Timeout for Coach Fareed and the Bombers to slow things down. A 4-point game, 13:05 left to go. But so many shots that have been in and out for the Bombers, and something Coach Fareed's talked about is the formation, the system is working. You can't get frustrated all the time when your open shots aren't hitting.
Yeah, I mean, some shots are going to hit and some shots aren't. Basketball, a little bit is a game of skill, but also a game of luck. Sometimes you get the lucky bounce into the net, and sometimes you don't. But you can't shy away and turn away from your system when it's not working. You have to run the course.
And right now for Rochester, 26 rebounds, Ithaca's 28, so not a huge rebounding discrepancy right now, especially for Rochester's size. Head coach Waleed Fareed in his 4th season said of this Rochester team, they have so many guys that are 6'5" and above that can dribble and shoot. You don't often see that at the Division III level. This is a very tough test for the Bombers heading into conference play on Friday against Vassar and Saturday against Bard. A 5-game stretch where it kind of teaches you a lot, and Ithaca has a chance to come out of this as a 4-1 team or a 3-2 team against some very tough opponents.
And this is setting themselves up very well for the Liberty League schedule. We saw what they did last year, a little bit lackluster, but a really good opportunity to build upon that and really surprise in the Liberty League as they've done in this non-con schedule moving into the Liberty League. Super interesting to see how this Bombers team matches up with a team like Hobart, who this Rochester team saw just a few weeks ago.
That was a 66-61 Statesman win. Out of the timeout, Rochester from left to right. Camden Fleming on the right wing. The lefty drives left side. Baseline pass, Jagozinski. Now Fleming, left wing 3. It's off the front of the rim and the backboard. Foul down low on Jose Padilla over the back foul. It will stay here with Rochester on some really good Yellow Jacket ball movement. 12:50 left to go, 46-42 Yellow Jackets lead. This Rochester squad, the last 2 seasons, have played the toughest schedule in the nation for Division III, so it shows you how big of a test this also is for the Bombers before conference play. Luke Rossi, the guard, on the inbound. Jagozinski pump fakes the 3. Down the lane, the double clutch, and the left-handed finger roll. Man, he's having a second half.
And he's one of those players that you knew coming in was going to average 18 points. How much can you limit him? You know you're not going to shut him down. What's the limit?
He has 14, and the Bombers answer, and 1 from Aiden Holmes. Chris Lasith on the right wing, a backdoor pass to Holmes down the right lane. The second chance for Holmes here to convert an and 1 in this second half. Cuts it back to a 4-point game. Every time Rochester has a big score, the Bombers have answered on the other end.
And this is what we talked about. They're used to doing this. They're used to playing from down and generating their own energy. They've been on the road a lot this season already in Utica and now in Rochester. They have to bring their own energy to this gym.
48-44, Holmes 2 dribbles at the stripe. 3-point chance, and it's there for Holmes. So you cut it to a 3-point game for the Bombers. Nate Sock back in the game for Rochester. He has 9, 2 for 3 from deep. Has not hit a 3 or attempted a 3 since the first half. 12:33 left to go in the second half. Rochester breaks a man-to-man press with Luke Rossi, the freshman. Left wing pump fakes a 3 as Jagozinski comes to Sock straight away. Back to Rossi, guarded by Padilla. He asks for the ball, hands off the ball to Jagozinski. Now to Kaczynski. Hesitates, backdoor cut, Jagozinski. Has the ball at the free throw line. Kaczynski has the ball, hand off Nate Sock, straight away, deep 3, gets it to go. 51-45 Yellow Jackets, right on cue for Sock, his 3rd 3 of the night.
Man, that was from way down deep, almost the 15-foot line of the volleyball court.
Here are the Bombers. Jose Padilla wants the answer. His 3 is way long off the backboard. Rochester the other way. Rossi, the freshman, up and good over Padilla with the contact. Rochester in front by 8, 11:40 left to go. It's their largest lead. Jose Padilla to the left corner. Chris Lace hit the forward. Handoff Tommy McKieran. Left corner 3. Cannot hit. And a foul called down low. That one goes against the Bombers over the back on Cole Wissink. Tommy McKiernan, the freshman, went 1 for 8 from deep against Utica in his last game. But Coach Fareed says he wants him to consistently shoot. He's hoping to be their spot-up guy, but just a freshman.
Yeah, and when you're replacing the 3-ball shooting of Tristan Winterston and Andrew Geschichter, who just left last year, you're looking for that secondary guy that's not Holmes or that's not Wendell for that matter. And McKiernan hasn't really hit his stride yet, but they keep giving him the options and the opportunity, which is great as a freshman.
Rochester tried to inbound there, but couldn't inbound. It's going to be a violation, so the Bombers take it back under their own hoop with 20 on that shot clock. Jalen O'Neal inbounds. Cole Wissink in the right corner. Resets Tommy McKiernan. He's at the top of the key now, back at the yellow R logo. 12 on that shot clock. Lawrence Brady on the left wing extended. Cole Wissink can't handle the basketball on the right wing. Now Corral, straight away 3, offensive foul. Lawrence Brady on the screen. The Bombers' 3rd foul. Rochester has 5 here in the second half, but the Bombers have had all of the last 3. And the Yellow Jackets still in front by 8. 11:18 left to go.
Big problem in that first half of the Utica game for the Bombers were those unnecessary and undisciplined fouls. If it plays a factor here in the second half, you can't win a basketball game.
11-14, 53-45 Yellow Jackets. Nate Sock on the left wing, guarded by Aiden Holmes. Drives baseline. Jagosinski posts up on Jalen O'Neal. That's a 7-foot mismatch, and it's a foul called against either O'Neal or Wissink. But either way, Jagosinski posting up and using his body down low. It's going to be a blocking foul, and Jagosinski will head to the line here for 2 shots. Ithaca's 4th, so Rochester was in foul trouble. The Bombers have put themselves in the same category.
Yeah, and this Ithaca defense really impressed in the first half. They were able to play clean, grab the rebounds when they needed them. And here in the second half, it's just seemed like they've got frustrated. Either that or referee calls have just not gone their way.
First free throw in for Jagosinski. The senior that has started all 7. Season high, 21 points. He now has 16 here tonight. Under 11 minutes, 10-point game in favor of Rochester. Bombers over the timeline, Lawrence Brady straight away. Dribble handoff, Cole Wissink. They want Aiden Holmes off a screen on the left wing. Behind the back dribble, Lawrence Brady left block. Fakes it, now down Broadway. Spins to his right, middle of the paint. Here's Jalen O'Neal to his right side. Contested shot, can't lay it in. Nate Sock gets the board. Yellow Jackets from left to right. Jagosinski on Cole Wissink. Now he's playing point guard at 6'9". Luke Razzie comes to Nate Sock at the logo, guarded by Tommy McKiernan. Kwasinski, he has the basketball. Spins back to his left, back to his right, back to his left, and he's fouled on the floor from Lawrence Brady. Brady picks up the foul. It's going to be his second, and the Bombers' 5th of this second half. And all of the last 5 fouls have been against the Bombers.
And an untimely time. You come into the half tied and an opportunity to take the lead, and you're just kind of wasting it away in fouls.
Rochester inbounds left side of the backboard from Luke Razzie. He'll have the inbound. Gets it in left corner, intercepted Evan Cabral. He saved it. Full court pass, Tommy McKiernan. To his right side with the layup. Shot no good. It was way off of the side of the hoop. There was some good defense, but McKiernan not even close. 10 minutes left to go. 55-45 Rochester lead. Luke Razzie at the top of the key. A right screen from Kwasinski. Razzie to his right side. Finger roll is long. Did not hit the rim, but gets his own rebound. Down the lane for a dunk. No, it's a layup from Jagosinski. He can't hit it because Kwasinski. He has the rebound, and he gets it to go. Rochester by 12. O'Neal over the logo for the Bombers, straight to his left side. Foul called on the floor from Luke Razzie. Rochester's 6. But Rochester extends their largest lead now to 12, as Rana mentioned. 32-32 at the halftime break. Now the Yellow Jackets pulling away.
And it's really been, in the story that first half, it was really the turnovers for the Bombers. In this half, it's been the fouls that have just come on the offensive possession.
57-45, Bombers will inbound here with O'Neal. Tommy McKiernan, left corner 3. It was blocked. That was blocked from Nate Bytel, the junior. He has 3 points. Nate Sock over midcourt with 9:35 left to go. Sock drives left side. Now he's double teamed. Jump ball. Possession arrow to the Bombers. So Cole Wissink picks up the steal. Bombers to their bench. Logan Wendell back in the game. Tommy McKiernan comes out. And Wendell's going to have to spark something up here for the Bombers. But he is 2 for 10 from the floor. The Bombers have nobody in double-digit points here tonight. 9:25 and counting. O'Neal over the logo comes to the left wing. Lasith top of the key. Cole Wissink, he's right there. Back to Lasith on the give and go. Reverse pass to Cabral. Left corner 3 for Wendell. He cannot hit. Camden Fleming the board for Rochester. They're the other way from left to right.
That one just looked like one too many passes to me.
Tough possession. Open 3. Bombers have not hit the threes here in the second half. 1 for 7 from downtown. Camden Fleming over the head pass comes to David Ackles. Backdoor pass, Nate Sock wanted the slam. He's fouled. He almost put Logan Wendell on a poster. Missed the dunk. Wendell the foul. It's Ithaca's 6th foul of this half, and Wendell picks up his 2nd as Sock heads to the line. Rochester, their offensive players can fly out of this gym, but they're also shooting better here in this second half. 66% from the floor, ran a 60% from deep.
And most of the time, I mean, when your 3-ball shooting is hot, it's hot. But we talked about how the pace was such a factor in that first half. Rochester came out a little bit slower in that first half, but they've put their foot on the gas here in the second half, and it's frustrating the Bombers, evident in the fouls.
Sock is not going to hit either from the line. He missed both. That one way short. O'Neal from left to right. Cabral quickly down the left side. Sprints past Fleming. Lays it in with his right hand. Bombers put 47 on the board. They just gave 2 points to Rochester. We'll go the other way in just a second on the scoreboard. Timeout called for head coach Fried and the Bombers, looking to calm things down. But Ithaca right now cuts the Rochester lead to 10. 57-47, 8:46 left to go. But the Bombers with nobody in double digits scoring-wise. It's been a lot of different multitude of guys scoring, but nobody has stepped up to be the key contributor here tonight.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing when you think about how many weapons you can go to. That makes you a little bit harder to scout because you never know who's going to shoot the three or who's going to be down low. But also, when you don't have that person to anchor your offense, it becomes hard to decide, okay, well, who does get the ball in this situation?
And it seems like the guy is still Wendell there on that three, but he's 2 for 11 from the floor, 2 for 8 from downtown, both of his makes from deep. Ithaca 32% from 3, but 1 for 8 in this second half. And now getting out-rebounded 33-29. They were out-rebounding Rochester in the first half. Out of the timeout, Yellow Jackets over the timeline. Fleming down low, Ackles, poster! Oh, man! Ackles at 7 foot, he dunked on Chris Lasith. Cut down a tree, you need a poster. Logan Wendell for the Bombers on the other end. Cole Wissing, right wing three. This one's way short. Nate Sock the rebounds. Ethan McEachran over the R logo. Nate Sock back to McEachran. He holds up his left fist. Back to Nate Sock with 8:13 left to go. 59-47 Rochester. Ackles just had the dunk. He's back down the lane. Goes to Nate Sock. Right corner three. It's good. 62-47. Rochester blowing it open. Evan Cabral to Cole Wissing the other way. Cabral on the left wing. Ithaca can reset. Logan Wendell on the right side by the UAA logo. Drives baseline is Wendell. Fades from 14 feet out. Way short. Jagodzinski the rebound for the Yellow Jackets. Rochester on a 5-0 run in the last 39 seconds. Ethan McEachran drives left side past O'Neal. From 9 feet out, his floater's no good. Came up limping. Now O'Neal back the other way. A 3-on-2 in favor of the Bombers. O'Neal double clutch reverse. It will not go. Ithaca mightily struggling from the floor. 5 for 20 in this second half. They're down 62-47 in the final 7:15. Nate Sock to Ethan McEachran on the left wing. Sock now drives to his right side. Picks up the dribble, threw it away. Cabral on a one-on-one fast break with McEachran. Goes to his right side. McEachran blocked the basketball. It's a jump ball. It's Rochester basketball. And that possession tells you the story. Everything Rochester's doing is going right.
And this feels like we're in a boxing match, and the Yellow Jackets quite literally have the Bombers on the ropes right now because they just look in disarray. They don't look super organized out there on the floor, and the Yellow Jackets running the floor right now.
Whistle blown two here. Aiden Holmes is going to pick up a foul on the inbound, holding on to McEachran. So Ithaca's going to pick up their 7th foul of this second half. It's going to put Rochester in the bonus. Cannot get any worse here down the stretch for the Bombers. 62-47 Yellow Jackets lead. It was 32-32 at the half. In the final minute 21 of that first half, Ithaca had a 1-point lead. Looked like a basketball game, but this Rochester team, you talk about their strength of schedule, 4 NCAA tournament appearances in the last 5 seasons. As McEachran makes the first 12, one more coming up. They've won 4 of their first 5, outscoring teams by a large margin, 533-470. And Randa, they've won 4 games by 10 or more points.
And listen, this is a team that has offensive capability. When you have multiple people on your team, 3 in fact, that have a average above 10 points per game, you know you're going to have to do some work on defense. And this Ithaca team, that's been a huge point of emphasis, but this Rochester team has so many offensive weapons they can go to at any point in time. Hard to stop.
Timeout call for Luke Flakertz in his 15th season for Rochester. 7:05 left to go. 64-47 Rochester lead. We'll take a short break. Be right back out of the timeout here on Bomber Sports. Well, what a second half it's been here for the Yellow Jackets here from Rochester, New York on this Tuesday night. Once again, thanks so much for joining us alongside Randa the Crow. Cam Manna with you on Bomber Sports. A 64-47 Rochester lead with 7:05 left to go. The Yellow Jackets 4 for 6 from downtown here in the second half, 12 for 18 from the floor, and out-rebounding the Bombers by 7 right now, where this game was tied at the halftime break. Bombers from right to left, out of the TO. Logan Wendell, handoff Aiden Holmes straight away, back to Cabral, the sophomore. Wanted to drive to his right side, now he'll drive to his left. Down the lane, reverse layup. It's rejected, but a foul is called, and Cabral will head to the line for 2 shots. So the Bombers in that first half, a lot was going well for them offensively. Shot the 3 ball well, 40%, but the turnovers, 14 for the Bombers, and foul trouble here in the second half has killed them as Rochester is in the bonus.
Yeah, it's been tough going for the Bombers here. Just a couple of unnecessary fouls, and the discipline going to have to be there down the stretch. But, hey, the Bombers have been down in situations like this before, and we've seen them come back. That's what they've done all year long, so never count them out just yet. They
came back against Utica a week back. They were down by 15 points, came all the way back and won the game 82-78, cut the halftime lead to 9. 6:54 left to go. Cabral missed the first, he missed the second. You got to hit your free throws. 6:50 left to go. And Rochester from left to right length of the court. Logan Jazinski with the basketball. He is 16. He's 6 for 7 from the floor. Ethan McEachran on the right wing. McEachran pump fakes. Cross court corner at Sock. Back to McEachran at the top of the key, guarded by Wendell. McEachran drives right side, all the way to the rack, and lays it in. 66 for Rochester, 47 for the Bombers. Logan Wendell over the timeline, straight to his left side, and straight down the lane, and lays it in over Camden Fleming at 6'7" with the contact. Bombers now a full court press, and a timeout call for McEachran, and Rochester are going to handle themselves on that press. So 66, and the Bombers now with 49. Wendell a good answer there. Wendell now with 8 points. But Ithaca, once again, we've harped on it, nobody here tonight with double-digit scoring.
Yeah, and when your leading scorer is having such a hard time from the floor, it's challenging to know what to do and who has to step up. But it can't be the Logan Wendell show every night. You have to figure out a way to generate offensive power from other guys on your bench, because there could be a time where, hey, maybe Wendell needs to take a break, or maybe he has an injury he needs to take care of, and you have to find yourself and gather your identity.
You and I, Rand, were both in Utica for that game when the Bombers took on Utica, and you talked to Logan Wendell postgame. He said during the halftime break he had to really get into his team vocally and tell them to kind of lock back in. He's been a guy 18 points per game right now, 4.5 rebounds per game. Tonight's not been his night shooting-wise, but a vocal leader the Bombers could use in the huddle right now.
And he's one of those guys, when you look at him as a freshman and where he's been, he wasn't necessarily that vocal leader freshman or sophomore year, even though he still was putting up these types of numbers. But his growth as a leader is pretty evident on this team, and wants to take them to more successful places.
And the Bombers will need a big comeback and have to be led by Logan Wendell here down the stretch. 6:17 left to go in this second half from Rochester. A 66-49 Yellow Jackets lead over the Bombers. Rochester will have it out of the timeout. They'll have to go the length of the floor from left to right. Logan Jagodzinski with the basketball. Lawrence Brady guards him here on a full court press. Jagodzinski on an overhead pass, and they break the press fully. Ethan McEachran on the left wing. He drives to his left side, lays it in and out. Nate Sock the rebound. McEachran can reset. Rochester with 40 rebounds to Ithaca's 30 here tonight. Jagodzinski straight away. Pump fakes with the left jab step. Now comes to Ackles on the right elbow. Ackles drives left side, spins back to his right, traveling violation. Flakertsky, the head coach, does not love the call. You can almost hear him from up here. 66-49, it stays. Under 6 minutes left to go. Bombers finally get a stop on the offensive side. Logan Wendell calls out plays over the timeline. He has 8, 3 for 13 from the floor. Straight to his right side, floats one up. He's fouled, and Wendell to the line for 2.
And Cam, you mentioned it. Both of these coaches up on their feet. Rochester with a pretty healthy lead, but still, coach up on his feet. That just goes to show he knows that the Bombers aren't out of this. This is a game that still could go either way.
And the Bombers need that push right now in the final 5:50. Wendell, a good free throw shooter. Spins the basketball, bends the knees. First free throw is no good. Ithaca from free throw land, 6 for 9 here now, and they've missed their last 3. Aiden Holmes before went 0 for 2 at the line. Wendell sets up one more time. And Wendell hits. He has 9. Ithaca hits 50, a 16-point Rochester lead. Back to a full court press for the Bombers. This could change the basketball game. McEachran in the left corner, batted away. Aiden Holmes the save, over the head pass. Evan Cabral the layup, can't convert. A foul called, and it goes against Rochester down low. But Aiden Holmes saved the basketball, threw a no-look pass over his head, and Evan Cabral almost scored.
And see, that's the exceptional full-court defense that this Bombers team can bring. And Aiden Holmes, with a lot of experience, just doing what he needs to do to huck that basketball back over his head and just hope that someone's there for him. Evan Cabral got to convert on that. Frustrating.
Cabral does go to the free throw line, but misses the first free throw. Cabral so far tonight with 5 points, 2 for 6 from the floor, now 1 for 3 at the line. And that would have been a Sports Center-worthy play there. Holmes had to keep his feet in bounds, and just some luck there to find Evan Cabral. Second free throw from Cabral is good. So the Bombers go 1 for 2 on both of their last 2 trips. 66-51, 5:42 left to go. Back to the full court press. Cabral tips the inbound. If Rochester can't get over half court, that could change the game.
Hey, man, we talked about it. This Ithaca team, they play physical and they play fast. When they're pestering you on defense like that, it's hard to know what to do and not get frustrated.
The Bombers will bring that full court press once again. Everybody man to man. Theo Murray, the sophomore, will have the rebound. Once again, Yellow Jackets have to go the length of the hardwood. Murray slaps the basketball, has to get it in. Goes full court pass, they get it over to Jagodzinski, and they're down low to Kaczynski. He lays up the reverse layup with his left hand, so you can break a press on a full court pass. That's what Rochester does.
A lot of length in this team to be able to have the strength to throw that basketball all the way down the court.
Logan Wendell, a half-court 3. It's an air ball. It was a lackadaisical possession. Wendell had to kind of spin out of something and throw up a shot. 68-51, 5:24 left to go. Coach Fareed still talking to the referees courtside. Theo Murray gets it in, poked out from Logan Wendell, stays with Rochester. So Ithaca slowing down the game with this press, but they have to score on the offensive side. And they need 3-pointers. They're 1 for 9 from deep in the second half. Luke Rossi, the point guard, double-teamed on the defensive side. Rochester over their logo finally. Jagodzinski to the left corner. Nate Sock pump fakes the 3. Now Jagodzinski, left wing 3. He connects. He's got 19, and he's only missed 1 shot here tonight.
And he's been absolutely electric from 3. Every time he hits, he lets the floor know, too.
20-point game. Evan Cabral, left wing 3 for the Bombers. He can hit. Cabral now has 9, his first 3 here tonight. 71-54 is the score. Rochester with that lead. Theo Murray over midcourt for the Yellow Jackets. Comes to Rossi. Rossi off his foot, but a blocking foul against Cabral as Coach Fareed slams the basketball. And he was mad there with Evan Cabral on that foul call. As they'll head Rochester back to the line here with free throw chances, both teams in the bonus.
Frustrated with Cabral there just on that foul, but it's something this team has talked about, you know, down the stretch. The ability to stay disciplined is a really important skill in basketball.
Luke Rossi cannot hit on the 1-and-1 Bomber basketball. 4:40 left to go. Large margin of error, 71-54 Rochester lead. Logan Wendell, a fake pass, drives down the right lane and lays it in. Fake to Brady in that right corner. Wendell's coming on here now with 11. Has scored on a few back-to-back possessions. Back to a full court press. Bombers tip the initial pass out of bounds. Rochester continues to inbound, backed up their own zone. This Yellow Jackets team, 5 for 7 from deep, led by Jagodzinski. He's got 19 points, 7 for 8 from the floor. Jagodzinski has the basketball, sprints forward, full court pass to Rossi. Rossi down low to Kaczynski. And he is spinning down low, traveling violation, so Bomber basketball. The press has worked a little bit here. Rochester has pickpocketed a few times on some cherry picking on the other end, but the Bombers have slowed things down.
But it's how fast can you get back when you do the full court pass, and the Bombers doing a good job there of getting all the way back.
Wendell over the logo, hands off Evan Cabral to Lawrence Brady. Lawrence Brady has 6 points, 2 threes. Aiden Holmes, left corner 3. This one's way long. Theo Murray, the rebound for the Yellow Jackets with 4 minutes left to go. He dribbles past Cabral. Jagosinski on Lawrence Brady, just over the logo from left to right. Theo Murray throws up his left hand, back to Jagosinski, guarded by Lawrence Brady. Comes to Kowazinski. Back to Jagosinski. Jagosinski a strip through. Back to his left hand. Down the right lane. Great pass. Kowazinski pump fakes. Lays one up. Had Evan Cabral and Aiden Holmes jumping out of the gym. 73-56 Rochester lead. Here's Logan Wendell, left corner 3. Front of the rim, no good. Chris Lasith the rebound. Count it, one more coming up. Lasith got the board on the short 3. Ithaca puts points on the board, 73-58. And a 3-point chance coming up for Lasith. A lot of substitutions here, and also for Rochester, Logan Jagosinski comes off the floor limping. Limping there on that right leg off the floor. He is 19 here tonight. He's only missed 1 shot and 8 rebounds as well.
Yeah, that would be a huge loss for the Yellow Jackets. Maybe looks like he's just shaking off a cramp. Can't really tell. We'll find out a little bit later, but a huge loss for the Yellow Jackets.
And Lasith cannot hit on the 3-point play. Rochester basketball from left to right. Looks like it was just a cramp. Just grabbing some water, doesn't look concerned. As Rochester can't get it over half court. An errant pass to Nate Sock goes out of bounds. Bomber basketball. As Cole Wissick, the junior, comes in. Lawrence Brady, the junior, comes off the floor. 73-58 Rochester. 3:20 left to go on this Tuesday night in the 12th all-time meeting. The Bombers head to conference play on Friday, hosting Vassar from Benley. Wendell inbounds, pass intercepted. Kowazinski the other way, two-handed jam, 75-58, and a timeout called for Rochester. They'll take one here with 3:16 left to go. This second half does not tell the story of what this game was hoping to be at the halftime break. 32-32, the Bombers had a 1-point lead at one point. They were out rebounding Rochester, they were out shooting them from 3, but this second half has been just a different basketball game.
Yeah, I mean, Rochester's done a really good job being more efficient than the Bombers, and that's really been the difference, is that the Bombers may be throwing up points and throwing up tries, but necessarily the Yellow Jackets have just been so much more incredibly efficient, shooting 70% here in the second half. Pretty incredible.
The Bombers being outscored 43-26 in this second half. Ithaca is shooting 2 for 13 from downtown. Not a clip that Coach Freed wants his Bombers to be at right now. They got cold, Rochester got hot. That's a big factor here down the stretch. If Rochester can hold on, they sweep the doubleheader. The women had a dominating 92-42 win. That came at around 5:30 with tip-off. This one tipping off at 7:30. So would be 2 dominating wins for the Yellow Jackets. They'll head to UAA play in a few weeks. They'll come in January. They'll have some big games coming up. They'll head to Trinity, Texas on the 4th of January, taking on the 18th team in America. The Bombers play Vassar come Friday. Evan Cabral over the logo, hands off to Aiden Holmes on the right side. Straight away Wendell drives to his right side, throws it up with the contact, banks it in. It's a charging foul. Oh no, they're going to call it a blocking foul, so Wendell will get the and one. Coach Freed not happy at all, and Logan Wendell almost kind of calming down Coach Freed. Not sure the exact foul call on the floor. That referee, when Wendell laid it up, pointed the other way for a charge. Now the refs are talking at midcourt. Nobody at the free throw line. Both teams are heading to their benches, but no timeout was called. And it will be a charging foul, and then a flagrant, a technical foul against Coach Freed. So we were right the first time on the charge.
Yeah, just an unfortunate sequence of events. Maybe a little miscommunication between the refs. One of them maybe calling that foul where he wasn't supposed to be on the floor. So maybe a little miscommunication there regardless.
So McEachran is going to make both at the line. Technical foul. So Rochester now 77, Ithaca with 60. So now back to the other side. So Logan Wendell did get the and one. So Wendell will look to convert the and one, but Coach Freed was arguing about something that was not even really related to the play. Your guy had an and one, and then you forced a technical foul the other way. Not sure what that was about. It would have made sense if Coach Freed was arguing about it being a charging foul to force the flagrant. But you don't see that often going the other way. Wendell's free throw shot is up. He converts the three-point play, but Rochester got two, so it's only a one-point play. Rochester inbounds here from left to right. Full court press for the Bombers. Nate Sock gets over the R logo. 2 minutes, 58 seconds left to go here tonight. The senior, he's had a great night. Drives to his left side with 11 points. Down the left lane, he traveled, couldn't hold on to that right foot. It will be Bomber basketball. But that's an interesting swing. You need all the points to get down the stretch. Bombers have the chance for a three-point play, and a technical foul from the head coach hurts them and only makes it a one-point play.
And then that's when you start thinking back to all of those plays where, hey, maybe I was going for a style point here, or maybe that was a low percentage shot that I shouldn't have thrown up. And, man, it's just confusing.
And Cabral there passing the ball to Logan Wendell. Wendell was not looking. Off his face, other way, two-handed jam for Bennett Kowazinski. His third dunk here tonight. It's 79-61 Rochester. Aiden Holmes straight to his right side the other way. Can't bank in the layup. 2:20 left to go. Full court pass for Rochester. Alley-oop, not going to be a dunk. And a pass that was resetted from Jagozinski. He was heading all the way towards behind the hoop on the padding. Just got it back into the court of play as he still looks shaken up. 2:10 left to go. Luke Rozzi at midcourt. Aiden Holmes on the defense. Rozzi drives, comes down the lane, wanted Sock on the cutting pass. Sock left the corner, and it's out of bounds as a timeout called for Coach Freed in the final 2:04, but looking too little too late here for the Bombers.
And one of those good clock management moments for the Yellow Jackets where you just kind of dribble the ball at half court. If they're going to give you the space, let them give you the space and run out the clock so they have less of a chance.
So just tough here for the Bombers tonight. They'll fall to 3-2 on this season. It will be their first road loss of the season. And the Yellow Jackets, a team that right now is playing the fifth toughest schedule in the nation for Division III, they'll head to 6-2. So the Bombers on this 5-game stretch to begin will go 2-2 against teams that played in the NCAA tournament in 2 of the last 3 seasons. 3-2 is not a terrible mark for the Bombers for how young this team is and for how tough the competition has been to begin.
And listen, when you talk to both head coaches about that first half, one of them might say it was lackluster, one of them might say it was a really good first half, but nonetheless, you got to see what this young group is capable of in this first half, putting up 32 points, a really good defensive showcase against a team that's clearly bigger than you. A lot of good things to take away, but a lot to improve on. And sometimes you learn more from losses than you do from wins.
So a brand new rotation here for the Bombers. Max Nierenberg, the freshman out of Ramsey, New Jersey, his first minutes. He had mono, so he's finally playing basketball for the first time this season. Michael Porter, the freshman, his second appearance of the year, and Yoav Regev, the sophomore, with the basketball. He'll have it at the top of the key to Padilla. Handoff to Porter. Porter drives baseline. One in Nierenberg. Cross court, McKiernan. McKiernan drives baseline in the right corner. Back to Padilla. Cross court, Porter, top of the key. Fires a three. He can't hit. Tip down low from Nierenberg. No second chance points. Rochester the other way. So a bunch of freshmen on the floor, 3 freshmen and 2 sophomores for the Bombers out there in the final $1:30. And a whistle blown, and substitutions here for Rochester. They'll take a substitutional timeout. A lot of guys coming off the floor here for the Yellow Jackets. They'll bring a bunch of their freshmen into the game. Max Nierenberg for the Bombers, his first minutes. A senior at Ramsey High School, played 28 games, 7.7 points per game. At a season-high 20 points just a year ago. Here's Savas Gontas for Rochester. Hand off to Danny Richardson, the sophomore. Now to Nate Beitzel. Down the lane, it's Theo Murray. Going to reset back towards the logo in the final minute 15. Murray to his left side with the contact. Laid it in. Rochester with 81, and the Bombers with 61 on the board. Tommy McKiernan to the right corner, Yoav Regev. Regev backdoor cut Porter. Ball out of bounds, tipped, and will stay here with the Bombers.
And this younger rotation for the Bombers, you talk about the size differential. Well, these young players are a little bit taller than what you would see out of the normal starting rotation. So interesting to look at the size matchup.
And that makes sense for Yoav Regev. He's 6'6", has the ball at midcourt, under a minute left to go. Max Nierenberg is a guard. He's 6'5". Tommy McKiernan drives to his left side. He's a guard at 6'4". Had the ball poked away. Another turnover, Rochester basketball. And then they step out of bounds by the scores table. So it's back to the Bombers. 49 seconds, and this will be probably Ithaca's final possession, maybe one more coming up of this basketball game. Jose Padilla inbounds. Danny Richardson on the defensive side. Max Nierenberg gets it straight away for Ithaca. Wanted the backdoor pass. Nobody was home. Tipped out of bounds. Still stays with Ithaca.
And one of those moments for Coach Fareed's squad where you just kind of have to take your medicine and give your freshmen a chance to get in this game against a really good Rochester team and develop.
Michael Porter drives to his left side. Pump fakes. Now floats from 4 feet out. He gets it to go. So Porter picks up his first points as a collegiate basketball player. So congratulations to number 20. 36 seconds left to go. Other end, Rochester. And they score on that side. That's Brendan Ducey, the junior sophomore, at 6'6". He scores. 25 seconds now. Bombers with it. 81-63. Tommy McKiernan in the left corner. Pump fakes the 3. Comes to Michael Porter. Back to Jose Padilla straight away. Bombers will have to get one shot off. 2-second difference shot in game. Regev down the lane. Missed the hook shot. Rochester dribbles it out. And that will do it from Rochester, New York. So the Yellow Jackets and the Bombers were tied at half at 32, but Rochester closes it out. An 83-63 20-point victory here against the Bombers.
And a really good first half for both of these teams. For Ithaca in particular, that defense that you saw. I mean, this is a team that struggled with defense year after year, nearing the bottom of the Liberty League in all those defensive categories, and did a really good job on the rebound, did a really good job being physical. And for Rochester here in the second half, way to use your experience, take back control, and do what you need to do. You shot the 3 ball well, you trusted the process, and a really good outcome for the Yellow Jackets.
Well, that does it here from Rochester. The Bombers will fall to 3-2. Rochester to 6-2. Here on the early season conference play begins for the Bombers on Friday at home against Vassar. A big thank you to Justin Lutz back in Ithaca in the athletics department. For Brianna the Crow, I'm Cam Anna saying so long. Thanks so much for listening to us, and thanks so much for always tuning in to Bomber Sports. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night.